Ohio gozaimasu. Uh, Good morning, my wonderful subscribers. I scripted this video on political correctness and the cannibalism on the left, how they're attacking each other over stupid feminism misphrasings and things. But it was so depressing that even I, in my cynicism and pessimism and Schopenhauerian pessimism, I couldn't take it. So I can't do that one. But let's talk about something more cheery and lighthearted. On August 8th, 1969, on Cielo Drive in Los Angeles, Tex Watson walked into the property and took an 8-inch 22 long rifle 22 and shot and killed Stephen Parent in the driveway, and thus began the Manson murders, the Tate LaBianca murders. 5 people killed at the Tate house, and let's see, 2 or 3 were shot. There was, but yeah. Let's talk about Manson and Tarantino. Now, the best documentary on the Manson family, in my opinion, is by far the 6 Degrees of Helter Skelter by Michael Dorsey, and it's available on YouTube. And I rewatched it last week with my coworker Manisha. Shout out to Mo. She is a hardcore security soldier. Uh, she is an officer of solid, corrupt steel. And but we rewatched that, and it's about the dozenth time I'd seen it. And with that fresh on my mind, I decided to watch the Tarantino movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood finally. So I rented it legally on YouTube. Actually paid $4, and it was funny. It was good. It's long. It's some of the dialogue's not the greatest, but some scenes are really good. It's definitely not his best work. My favorite is Death Proof. Death Proof has the unbelievable dialogue that it sustains, and it's just, girls hanging out. I don't even know why I love it so much, but it's just like, wow, I wish my social interactions could be like that. All mine are really, really awkward, dreadful, just horrendous. I don't like to socialize. It's even getting worse with age. Even normal friendships and relations with family are very alienating at times. Now, I did have a good holiday with the family in Tennessee. They're great, love them to death, but it's hard to sustain that over a period of time. But anyway, back to the Manson killing. Now, I'm not a true crime devotee or a serial killer fan. Mostly it's women that are into that type of thing. But that Manson documentary, I love it so much because it's kind of it lays bare the sort of chaos and meaninglessness at the heart of the American experience. And it's just a really well done, shot on scene documentary, indie documentary, where the guy knows his subject and he goes details. Details make anything, whether it be fiction or documentaries or what have you. But I strongly suggest you check out that documentary, 6 Degrees of Helter Skelter. It's far, far, far better than this Tarantino movie. Now, um, um, back to Tarantino. Yeah, it's basically Pulp Fiction. His movies don't have the depth of, say, an Oliver Stone. I'm more of an Oliver Stone type of guy. But many of his movies you can rewatch a number of times. Jackie Brown, Reservoir Dogs, and Death Proof being most famously, for me, the best ones. But and his tendency to rewrite and reimagine history in these films like Inglourious Basterds, where he totally disregards the actual historical truth to reimagine it. In World War II, I don't like that. I hold history sacred. If you see my Stalingrad list of playlist, I take that World War II history very seriously. I hold history sacred. But in the case of the Manson family, I don't mind it as much, although I didn't really care for the ending of the film. I mean, maybe it was spoiled because I did watch too many reviews on YouTube that did have spoilers. And that's one reason I screwed over myself. But the other thing about Manson is, of course, his extreme amount of charismatic control he had over his followers. And man, those were some of the most wicked women ever. So it's a unique case, but in the end, meaningless and not something that's going to recur. At the time, everybody thought all murders will be like this: hippies, drugged up, killing everybody. This is going to be happening on every street corner, and it never happened again. So it's I don't know. It's an interesting historical event. I would definitely check out that documentary. But back to the 22. Actually, the one that Tex Watson used was a different brand. This is a Heritage Rough Rider. I'm thinking it was a different brand, but these with the 8-inch barrel, you do get a lot of velocity out of this. If you look at the autopsy reports from Cielo Drive, you'll see that. One of them blew his watch off, and yeah, it was just a 22 long rifle. This one is a 22 Magnum cylinder it has that goes in it, but I'm not sure about the one that Tex had. But I have a Civil War Repro holster that fits it perfectly, which makes me think that it is designed sort of on the specs of the Civil War era revolvers. And this one has a safety on it, which is kind of odd. Now, I do have more serious revolvers. You can't have too many revolvers. I've got this is a 357 Rossi 4-inch, and I had one of these. It was a 2-inch with a compensator, but I didn't like the compensator. It's deafening. Firing Corbon 357 ammunition with a compensator is a good way to permanently wreck your hearing if you don't use hearing protection, which you always, of course, you should with anything. And definitely don't fire it indoors. I never did that though. But as far as 22s go, you really can't have enough revolvers. Or maybe any gun. People ask, how many guns do you have? Well, I have more than I feel comfortable telling you about, but not as many as I'd like. Not as many as I like. That's how you answer that question as a Democrat in the South, although I'm not really a Democrat. I'm a hardcore leftist. But that's what they used to tell the Blue Dog Democrats. This is an RG 14 or S, or anyway, this is the exact model used in the Reagan assassination attempt, which he survived, because the barrel is so small. The velocity you get out of this is minimal, and these are historically very ineffective. Although it is a functioning revolver. I mean, I just thought it was cute and adorably small, and I do like these historically infamous models of. I used to have a Carcano, a 6.5 Carcano, like Oswald had, but man, I had the problems out of that thing. It wouldn't even extract, and I sold it. I actually traded it at a gun range to borrow somebody's Glock and fire 500 rounds through it when I got my blue card, which, so I got like $35 out of it. I only spent like $60 on it. Then I lost the sights on it, so really, I think I might have screwed them over. But anyway, back to where were we going with this? Manson, Tarantino. Yeah, Oliver Stone is more my guy. Yeah, this channel is all over the place. It's mostly just for me, this channel, but I do like to be the lightning rod for ideas, and that's why I have my playlists for MGTOW philosophy, the Stalingrad playlist, which is World War II history, Stalingrad, weapons, Nazis, the rise of fascism, and the hard left playlist, which is hard left thinkers, and check those out. But I do appreciate people liking and subscribing. But yeah, Manson and Meaninglessness this New Year's. But it's been a depressing year. But everybody, we got to do it again. Everybody, have a great New Year.